So when life becomes tough, it can feel really overwhelming. But guess what? You are not alone. Tough times test our strength, but it also shape us. This is today's live on Equa Television International. We're so happy that you could join us on today's edition of the program. We're looking at life and we're looking at when life becomes tough. My name is Joyce Jakada. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Equa Television International. Do well to join this conversation. I have Sambo Solomon Sabe, Prudence Berger, and Jemima Emmanuel. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're all smiling like you never had your share of tough times.
It's a choice.
Oh, wow.
We're
it's a
smiling
choice.
because we overcame.
Oh, wow. Sambo Solomon said it's a choice. So you choose the tough times. I mean, you choose the season that.
Choose the smile.
Okay, so let's talk about tough times. I mean, I felt so cold when I was talking about tough times because honestly, it tests your strength.
Yeah.
It tests your faith. It tests your resilience. And a lot of times you want to think, oh, let me just, like the option that comes to mind is giving up. The option that comes to mind that sounds really easy is quitting. And a lot of times you are also filled with pain of the effort that you have made thus far. And then why is it at this point, after envisioning a beautiful future, after envisioning that everything is going to work smoothly, why am I, just when I feel that I'm getting over this, then another thing is coming up. Earlier, I was conversing with a colleague, and this person was sharing how that a lot of responsibilities, you need to do this, you need to do that, and all of that. And I said, oh, wow, very timely. I think you should be a guest on today's live. I was like, you should be a guest because this is an example of going through tough times. So I'd like you to, if you don't mind, because Jemima said we chose smile regardless, and you all talked about choosing and all. So I don't know if you can share with us, because let's talk about it practically. Like, so that it will not look as if you're just saying somebody is faced with school fees, house rent, food, he has somebody that is sick, and like a lot of things, and then you're saying just choose to smile. So how will the smile translate into solution and all of that? So have you experienced tough times, and how did you navigate your way through?
The place is quiet.
Yeah, it's the composure for me.
I believe, we are just trying to figure out which one to share.
Oh, which one? Okay.
Because
I think it's more like we are sorting through the library.
that is it. Like,
Yes.
because
Archives.
I love it when you said it tests your
faith.
And I think basically that's for me, I would say that's one of the reasons why life sometimes give you that if you permit me, let me say, a squeeze of life. But the beauty of it is that, like I said, the issue of choice. At some point, you'll be given an option to choose one, whether to remain in that pain and keep lamenting, or to see positivity in the pain and then concentrate, because the positivity is hardly you will see them. They are just hidden under the foam of pressure, of hardship, of difficulties. If you focus, you will see it. But foam, once it doesn't take time. No matter how you think what you are going through last, it's just like the normal foam that will come. Just give it time. Before you know it, it disappear, and you are just left with the normal water there. So life generally, for my belief, God didn't promise us that all is going to be rosy. So you should know that as at one given time, life will definitely squeeze you. But the issue of choice, you choose which one to pick and to run with. You see, the best out of people comes from what they are going through. Because that's when you begin to see, okay, I've gone or I've done this wrongly. Or out of this, now you are seeing, okay, there are opportunities, there are possibilities embedded in them, in what you are going through. But it's for you to now see it and then pick it and run with it. I told people, I said, even in this journey where I was seated, and some people will listen, and some people will even comment and said, this person said something that really encouraged me today. We are not coming from just nowhere. I have never thought in my life that I will be here, based on how life presented itself to me. Like some people will say, I just lost my dad 6 months ago. I just lost my dad last week and stuff. I'm talking about 30-something years. That totally my life was just Hausa people will say kami. You know, just from here to wherever the winds blow. Like you don't have that proper guidance. Like somebody to really put you. Even when people are trying to guide you, there's this anger that you listen to them. You'll be like, Joyce, is because all is well with you. That's why you're talking to me this way. That's why you are advising me. That's why you are telling me this thing that you are telling me. You understand? So, life. But what really happened is that I now later told myself that you can't follow life this way. And to crown it out, what is your Bible saying concerning your life? Concerning you, concerning your purpose of creation. That narrows it down. And I begin to tell myself, yes, you see, you can lament. You can feel this pain. You can cry. You can refuse to eat. You can roll on the floor. However you want to do it, you are free. You can do it. But you just have to get up. Because in this life doesn't care. It will squeeze you. If you allow it, it will keep squeezing you. But if you say, no, you can squeeze me, but this is enough, I will move. And one thing with this tough time that we're talking about when life gets tough is in stages. Like today, the wealthiest person in Africa, he has his own tough time. But to you, you can think he has everything. I was listening to him. One of his projects that he put in place, he said, he knew that can be so tasking, can be financially draining, because he said the budget he has, he never thought, he knew that later the budget will increase and then this is going to be the demand of the project. He would have stopped it. But he said now, at least looking at the project, it gives him joy because he feels that he gave up. He's telling the other younger generation that you can think of a big project and still tell yourself it's not possible. But now, at least he knows that it wasn't easy, but it's possible. Now he can see it. Now it's working. What he envisioned now is reality. And then they ask him, then what next? He said, life's continue. Any opportunity comes, I invest and I move. You understand? So what am I trying to say? This pressure that we see that life gives us is in stages. So even if you see people driving big cars, living in big mansions, and you are thinking they have arrived, all is well with them, some, they are living with children that have deficiency. Constantly they wake up, they see them every hour. To them, that's what life is giving them, and they feel it's not fair. But they have everything. To some, they don't have what to eat. They don't have constant work. And that is what the life is giving them. So at least you just have to know that it's in stages. Don't look at someone and just think the person is living well. Look at your own and then look at the possibility, the positivity, that is embedded in what you are going through. Take advantage and then push yourself.
It is often said that tough seasons don't last, but tough people do last.
True.
Because both in the season of toughness and out of toughness, you are remaining tough. So even when that season comes to you, it goes back when it is done, because nothing will change you. And it is always said as well that when life gives you lemon, turn it into
That was what I
lemonade.
was trying to remember when Sample Suma was talking. When life gives you
Lemon,
lemon.
turn it into a lemonade and drink it. Just cross your leg and drink it. This whole season will pass. People are required to be tough because this life, the blueprint of it, is both toughness and sweetness. is intertwined. You cannot choose. In fact, you don't have the right to pick one. Not even to pick the toughness and leave the other one. You just have to go with both of them and find a way to navigate around it. And when things are sweet, you should know that there will be a time that they will be hard.
True.
They will be tough. And when things are tough, you should know that there will come a time that they will be sweet. It just goes. You don't decide at what point of your life it will be easy and at what point of your life it will be hard. Talking about experiencing toughness, we practically have experienced toughness. We are still experiencing it and we will continue to do that. But the good thing there's no toughness that comes and goes without a lesson. There's no toughness that comes and go shrinking you, diminishing you. No, instead it brings about growth. I know of people that have experienced tough times and there and then their life died, their dreams died, their visions died, and every single thing died. And do you know what? They are still seated there and blaming that tough season that came to them. Not knowing that other people, tougher seasons came to them and they rigmarolled around it and pulled off. And today they will tell you that, they will hit their chest and tell you that they are where they are today because of one tough season or the other that has happened to them. So tough seasons, they will always come and go. It is left for you to decide if you want to be tough or you want to remain lukewarm or cold wherever you are. So truthfully, tough seasons are always there.
Okay. Prudence, you don't have the right to say you have experience with toughness or tough times.
Let me not talk.
I was going to say that for a lot of people, that is the picture they get.
Okay.
They look at you and they seemingly think that, oh, your life has been a swell ride.
Obviously.
We don't look like our problems. We don't look like what we are going through.
I know that someone that experienced toughness will go to a university like, let me not do free advert, but
Ajebo.
understand Ajebo University. Okay, go ahead. Let's not look like
Senior body house.
Do you understand? Someone that's going through tough times, Abi has experienced tough times, is crossing leg.
Put your leg down.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I'm going through tough times on this.
Hey.
Navigate your way.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say, but I'll still navigate my way. I'll find my way around it.
Okay.
There are times when I had cause to sit back and look and say, is this the sum total of life? Or could there be any reason for you going through all these struggles? Is there any reason that you turn left and right and you're looking and it seemingly looks like there is no solution? I remember a time where my younger sister had to literally tell me the following day that what exactly happened to you, because I sat down. I just sat down, thought about everything, and I wept. I wept. I was weeping, and my sister had to ask, like, did someone die? Did anything happen? What
That thing
exactly
must be
is
really
going on?
painful.
Honestly.
You know that kind of cry that you sit alone and cry.
Sometimes you need it.
Exactly.
Telling you.
But then again, after that, I stood up and dusted off, and it just seemed like nothing else happened and all that. So you get to those times. There are times that, someone was talking about, we were talking about prayers, and someone said, sometimes you go before God and you don't even have anything to say because of how tough life has been on you. You just sit down there and you're weeping before him and telling him. In fact, you cannot even tell him, so you're just weeping out your pain.
That one is sweet too. That one is sweet. Than the one that you even go there and be looking at him like I'm looking at Joyce now, like one wicked person that just wicked you and just create you and just dump you.
Yeah.
So you find
You
yourself in
understand?
times like that. Just like we've all said, there are stages to these things, and there are times they come and there are times they go. Sometimes it looks like life is just smooth. Life is a sweet ride. There's a saying that goes, life is not a bed of roses. But when we talk about bed of roses, we're always talking about the petals, right? And nobody really talks about the plants, because the plant in itself is thorny. For you to actually get that beautiful rose, there are thorns that you have to cross over. There are thorns that you have to dodge and navigate. That's essentially how life is. For it to turn out beautiful, there are times that you would have to be brushed. There are times that you would have to be bruised. For some people, it becomes a death sentence. I've had, I know of a number of people who tough times came to, and at the end of the day, they gave up. They died, they killed themselves and all that. I've seen different situations. In fact, one that I saw him barely 2 months before he died, and I was wondering, like, is this the same person that I've always known, or is this someone else entirely? And but the news of his death came to me as a shock. I did not expect it. I felt that it was something, whatever he was going through, he'll be able to come out of it. But he couldn't. So that's one thing about tough times. There are times when you feel incapacitated. You feel that there's nothing you can do. The future just seems bleak. It's like you are just in a tunnel. And all the whole stories where they'll tell you, sorrow may last for the night, but joy comes in the morning. At that moment, you are not enjoying this quote. They don't used to make sense. Or there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Someone asked, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not seeing the light. I cannot see. The tunnel I'm in right now is just dark. I can't even see my way. I don't know where I'm heading to.
Someone say you don't want to see at the end of the tunnel. Inside the tunnel, you want to see light.
Let me see.
It's just a way of encouraging people to keep going, regardless of the darkness. Just keep pushing. You will definitely.
When
see
you
light.
hear people talking like that, you know that they are tired. When someone tells you that no, it's not the end of the tunnel,
of course,
it's here, because he feels like the tunnel is endless.
It's too long. Yes.
So you just say, when is the light coming? Can I just see the light? Let me just see the blink. Someone would just say, let me just see the blink. You understand?
So here's what I was aiming at. Tough times test your patience. And to be honest, most of us don't have patience.
It's true.
So when you are faced with this tough time, you cannot see beyond the tough times that you are faced with. And so patience is like a foreign word to you. And people would see you and just think that you are being paranoid, or you're being, I don't know how to explain it better. It's like, what exactly, is he the first? I remember one time, a funny story. You know, secondary school and love. Everybody's love in secondary school used to be.
Okay.
I'm serious. It's a very.
Did we say anything?
This your smile.
But did we say anything?
Prudence, they come.
It's not me now. It's not me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, it's your secondary school.
It's my mates.
Okay.
So this guy has been dating this girl since our SS1, and then we get to SS2, and the girl says, no, she's not dating him again. She's done with this. She's not dating. And our brother started crying inside the classroom. And the other guys were like, bros, are you the first person that's somebody's breaking your heart. So at that moment, they could not even feel the pain that this boy is feeling. So much that he had thought of, and you would also look at the fact that capacity is different. So it's so for him, this was a tough time. But for other people, it's like, this is a norm. This is not something that you should cry about. Life goes on. There's so much fish in the sea, right? But for him, it's like the end of life at that moment. He was literally crying. And for you to actually see a boy crying at that time, everybody wants to maintain composure. But he was crying and weeping. And that's how much hurt he was feeling. And that's how much tough that time felt for him, because it really downed his spirit and all that. There are times when you are in troubled times, people will not see it, or rather they see it and they think that you're just being petty, you're just being pompous. It's not really a tough time. You're not facing anything. Have you seen what another person has seen?
Solomon is talking like out of experience.
Yes, exactly.
Experience. Joyce, do you know that I attempted suicide 3 times? Yes. That's why I started my preamble. Like, you are seeing me seated down here today. Some people admire you. We have gone through tough times. I didn't been. Just imagine the first attempt. I wouldn't have been here talking. Probably, maybe some of you that know me will just bring it as an example to teach people and say, we know there was a friend like this, and that. This is how he terminated his life 3 times. But in every given time, God positioned somebody. Yakubu Gani is somebody that I will live to respect till I die, because he played a major role in my life. And so when people see me relating with him, they don't know the connection, and they will never understand until a story like this is being shared. He have come. He come like from it. I don't know how to describe him when you talk about relationship. He's not a friend. I don't see him as friend. That's why sometimes when people talk about this is my friend, I say, what do you mean when you say friend? Like, can you really define who truly friend is? Friend is somebody that knows your worst, like, and is willing to go extra with you regardless. Like being open, being genuine. So when you talk about tough times, like, I think my life alone is a story, because you are not even look at it from the angle of friends, that you are seeing people, they just feel like, no, you are not supposed to even be in their midst. Right? You come to family, your immediate family, you are being looked down upon. And your parents are even comparing you with other people that they even don't know their source, forgetting the timing of God. Right? They are seeing like your life is in delay, or you put yourself in slow motion, like you are the one controlling your life. You understand? And then you look around, it's not that something tangible is coming and people throw things at you. And you look at family, there are things that you know is your responsibility as the eldest son to help in one way or the other. You can't help. And in some moments you can't even talk, because you feel like your self-esteem is low, is affected, like everything around you is not working. You go for help, they want you to say the whole of your story. After saying all that you get is all this why did you wait until this. So at the end of the day, help is not coming. You shared your story.
Another tough season.
That's if they even believe you, because
that's it.
Because I know of someone who got married with a health condition. She got married into a family with a health condition, and when she doesn't appear for family functions, so she doesn't appear for something that engages the family, what you would hear are things like, she's just lazy, she does not want to do anything. It's just, she's just looking for excuses. And so that in itself, apart from the fact that she's facing tough times because of her health challenge, the conversations that go on in the family is also a tough time for her. So you're wondering how exactly will this person come out of all these things? How you will go for a family meeting and the next thing they're saying is this kind of person that you cannot even believe anything the person is saying because the person is spewing lies. But the truth is that this person cannot do what you're expecting them to do. You would just find a whole lot of things. And
You
it's
see,
just
tough
a tough
season,
time.
tough times or tough season, like they come in different phases.
Yes.
Different phases. Like it can come in the form of disappointment. It can come in the form of betrayal, pain constitute tough times. Like even lack constitute tough times.
Yes.
You have a lot of needs to attend to, financial needs, and yet you don't have the capacity to handle all of that. A lot of expectations on you, and yet you are incapacitated. Like there are people that go make attempt to walk, but then at the end of the day, people keep saying, go and walk, don't be looking for pity and all of that. You go and walk, the person that's supposed to pay you does not show up. Like another season just open. So tough times. There are a lot of young women that are married and then they could not conceive, not because it's their fault, but because maybe their husband has one challenge or the other, but they are the ones bearing the grunt of the pain because everybody's eye is on her. Some will even abuse you from your in-laws, your family. So these things are in season. They are in like different phases. But your ability to handle, and Jamima talked about it is meant to like lead to growth. But it all depends on how you like go through that tough season. Like Prudence said, some people like their life is being cut short by tough times because they don't have the capacity to handle. They are not exposed to the right people, to the right information, and then the only option they think that is available is for them to just take their times, take their lives. When you're talking about shedding tears, like I hate to be overwhelmed. I don't like to feel overwhelmed, but I think you cannot go through tough times without that feeling of being overwhelmed. I remember times back then in school that I would just stay and I don't know why I would always stay in front of the mirror when I'm crying.
I don't want to look at my face.
I would stay in front and then I'll be lamenting, like, see how people are enjoying their life. Me, I'm here, I'm saying I want an A. I'm going through this assignment, and then after going through this, the different search engines, I cannot even see the answer. I will sit and start crying. Why can't I be like every other person that is copying and pasting? But you already set a goal for yourself that see, I want to stand out. This is where I want to be. It does not just come cheaply. It comes with certain sacrifices. So that is why some of these people that today we mention as their names as riches, as people that are doing well in their field, like it didn't just happen.
No.
Like it took a lot of effort, and this effort came with pain. It came with that feeling of being overwhelmed. Imagine you taking on a research as a student. Of course, it's not something that you just stay and be chewing gum or eating meat and then you are just flipping through pages. It's going to take a lot of effort, and in doing that, that can also be another tough time on its own.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like Apostle Solomon said earlier on, the Bible did not assure us, like as for believers, that okay, life is going to be all rosy. Tribulations will come, trials, temptation. Look at the life of Jesus Christ. Like, though blameless, but look at he also had his share of trials, of temptation, that he even at the point he was like he had to go through the cross for something that he did not do. So this, for our own sake, and this is what a lot of people too are going through. There are people, always I talk about people behind bars. There are some that are there, they are going through tough times, like not because they committed the crime, but because maybe they're on the scene, or somebody just faulted them, or somebody just picked on them, and they're actually there and they are going through it. But again, in going through tough times, what we're trying to avoid is the fact that you allow it to overwhelm you and then break you. Because I said earlier on, tough times can actually be overwhelming. It can also take a lot from you. But you're not alone. That's something that I always see people think. When somebody is going through tough time, like he always thinks that he's the only one. Sometimes there are people that they will look at you and say, Gunda K, better you. You have no idea what I'm going through. And I smile because sometimes when we open our mouth and tell you our own story, you want to look for help for us. I remember somebody was telling me lately that, how far now, Joyce? I'm looking for 20K. And I said, oh wow, 20K. Right now I'm looking for 220,000. Like I need it ASAP before Saturday. I just told the person. And he said, hey. And I told the person what I needed it for. And he saw the urgency and the need. And the person told me, okay, I actually have a friend that could assist you in getting this amount. But when do you think you can pay back? I said, as soon as possible. Like 2 weeks time, I can do. This person now said, okay, let me just talk to this friend. I said, don't worry. I now said, don't worry. So somebody that was coming to ask for, when I now narrated my story, the person was joining me and forgot about it. So most times we always think that, okay, when you're going through tough times, it is only me. God does not like me. I'm just here to escort people. Look at how this person's life is all rosy, all planned. Like a young lady that is working as a messenger in an organization. One day she came and she was crying bitterly that she would never forgive her father, somebody that is late, dead, buried long ago, that she will never forgive her father. If he has sent her to school, she will not be a messenger in this organization. There's somebody that's actually trusting God, that even with the certificate to get that. I remember somebody complaining that, oh, he's just a cleaner in this organization, he's going through a lot, and when he was told that there are people with certificate that have been coming to apply for, he said, hey, let me hold on to this, my job very well. Because though I don't have the certificate, but people with certificate are coming to apply for this. No, I need to be really serious. Do you understand? So sometimes we go through life and we think, no, it is just only us. God does not like us. Life is not fair. We've always said on today's life, life will throw dirt at you. It does not care about who you are. Though you have all your plans outlined, you have the picture of where you are headed, things will just happen. Just when you think that I've sorted this problem, you just receive a call that, hey, your brother has been rushed to the hospital. Oh, your mom is sick. Oh, the house rent has expired. Oh, there's this bill to be paid. School fees need to be paid. There's no food in the house. Like, things will happen. You have planned. You have already saved money that you're planning that this money is going to go into your house rent. And then behold, that your mom has been rushed to the hospital. Is it house rent you want to pay or you want to save life? So you see, at the end of the day, you're taken aback again. So you're thinking, God, why me? The option, quitting is not an option. Somebody said, he will give up on life, now him lose. Now him lose. Another person said that life is sweet. I cannot. So you only get to the point of saying life is actually sweet when you have prepared your mind that it is not without tribulation, that anything can happen when your expectations are managed. When certain things happen to you, you know that, oh, I'm not unaware. Somebody made a statement yesterday and of course directed at me. And when the person said, I smile, I say, this one does not know we have outgrown this stage already. You think you can make certain comment and threaten. No, we have seen more than this. And God has helped us to pull out and scale through this. No, things like this, statement like this cannot in any way break us. So like I want us to talk about why is it that when you are going through tough times, the only option that comes, like the option you always think about is the negative? Why is it that is what always presents itself? Like, do Yahoo now. Like a girlfriend told her boyfriend that every day is complaining he does not have money. You should do Yahoo now. And the guy just look at her like, are you serious? You are, even with the stories of the guys doing Yahoo using their girlfriend. And you are telling me that do Yahoo now, that is not men like him that doing Yahoo, that she's even tired of him. Every day he does not have money. He said, I should do Yahoo. He said, do it now. It's not guys like you that are doing that. She's tired of suffering. So why is it that the option that is always presented, a young lady will just say, it's not for me to just prostitute, it's not just to sleep with this man, just 5 minutes, and I'm going to get 200K, I'm going to get this. Why do I have to go and apply for work for a whole month before I get paid and then sort out this issue? Some people that are into prostitution, the justifiable reason is that you have no idea. Like they will always tell you that if you were in their shoes, you would do worst. So don't judge me. Don't stay where you are and judge me. So is it only negative things that are options that people can just resort to?
I personally think that why a lot of times we resort to the negative things is because we are too focused on the tough times. And one thing about being focused on the tough times is that you don't have clarity of thought. And so the option that presents itself as the one that gives you your solution quickly, that gives you the quickest solution, is what you would opt for. And one interesting thing about negative things, like bad things, social vices, is that they present themselves to you at their worst, at your worst rather. So it's like it's expecting. So you're low right now, right? Let me give her the solution. Maybe if I give her the solution, it will help her. I see that you talk about addictions, you talk about drug addiction, you talk about sexual addiction, pornographic addiction, all these addictions. A lot of times you would find that people would tell you where this addiction stems from is you are in trouble, you're in tough times, and you decide to pick one of those as an escape route. And so you try this, it gives you the relief you're looking for today. You try it again tomorrow, it doesn't give you so much a relief. So you try it again in an hour's time, and it gives you more relief. And then you keep trying and keep trying, and then tomorrow you can no longer live your life without it, because you have become dependent on this kind of vices. Same thing. You are in desperate need of money, and that is when money avails himself in all the wrong places. Theft, robbery. And so you're too focused on, I really need this money now.
That's why you
let me just go ahead and
kidnap
do it.
yourself and collect ransom from
Your parents and your family.
then you
members.
share with your
with your partner. So you see a lot of things that you would just do because that's what comes up and shows its face first. And that's how the world works. When you are in trouble, when you are faced with tough times, the easiest solutions that come to you are the ones that are not always right. And the toughest solutions that you would go through are the ones that are probably right. So you would have to get to a point. For me, I had to get to a point where I don't even know where you get another solution if it is not in the scriptures anymore, because that's where I got mine. And so I was scrolling through the scriptures one day, and I came across, in this world you would face trouble, but have peace because I have overcome it. So I kept on thinking, if he has overcome me, why am I stressing myself over some things? Let it, like Engineer Tony will say, sometimes just let the tough times come and pass. Don't do anything about it. Don't focus on it. Just let it pass. And so I got to a point that for a situation that I know there's nothing I can do about it, please, Prudence, go and sleep. So even when I was writing my project, and I'll get to a point where I'm racking my brain, and I would just change this. In fact, on the same system that I'm doing the project, I'll just move to a movie and watch and laugh and smile and sleep and wake up. Then I'll continue the project when I finally have solution for it. And so when I got to that point, I understood that tough times, sometimes they're just there to test you and make sure that you are still focused on what is important. And if you lose sight of the important things in life, it is easy for you to be carried by the waters of troubles, the waters of, because if you think that you would find the solution, sometimes if you think that you will find the solution by yourself, you would just get yourself into more trouble. For instance, this lady that got married with a health issue. If she had said, I will take it upon myself to be explaining to everybody why I'm doing the things I'm doing, or why I'm not doing the things I'm not doing, it would have been more trouble for her, because explaining to them, they would not still understand. They would just think that she's looking for excuses. And at the end of the day, she's keep piling up more problems for herself. And so at that point, she just said, since she has the support of her husband, there's nothing else to stress about. Let's continue living our married life. Any other thing about family people, it will sort itself out in due time. And it sorted itself out because today now they look at her and they say, is this how you struggled and we had no idea?
Okay.
And so it is just, we need to understand that it is a momentary thing, and that's another thing that you need to condition your mind to. It is a momentary thing. There are some times that you don't have anything to do about it and you just need to let it go. And there are times that you just need to be patient with this condition that you find yourself in.
And another reason why people tilt towards the negative in tough times is everybody wants to follow the shortest route.
Yeah.
Everybody wants shortcut.
Mm.
Sometimes when you're walking, say, why walking? Okay, you don't know this other road that will lead you faster. So everybody wants to just go for the road that seems shorter, easier, smaller, faster, and all of that. But then the scripture said, God will not give you a temptation that is beyond you. Whatever he gives to you, he knows the end from the beginning.
Sure.
So he has already seen the end that you can do it. That is why he's giving you. But you that only know the beginning is saying that you cannot do it. So whatever tough situation that comes your way, you have to sit down first and ask yourself, why is this situation, why is this tough season coming my way? What can I do to scale through the tough season? Look at Job. Job, in all his glory, he did not, he didn't have to go through what he went through to the point that every other person told him, hey, just do what you need to do and just die and go. But he kept keeping on. I'm sure that was not his flesh, but because he depended on God wholeheartedly, God helped him and he scaled through. It is because God saw the end that Job would finish strong. That is why he allowed him to go through it. So even knowing, bringing out the positivity from that tough season is a way of motivating you to scale through. Sometimes you go through a tough season and you be like, why is it me? Why is it not this other person that is wicked? See all these wicked people walking around. Why is it not happening to them? Why is it me? But you have to sit down and find something good about what is happening, that lesson that you would learn and move on in your life. And some of these tough seasons are our own doing. Probably they are past choices that we have made in life, and they are coming back. What were you expecting? The law of karma is real. So what you did before, yes, God forgives, but you have to still face whatever consequence that will come your way. So whatever tough season you're going through, it may be illness, it may be jobless, it may be joblessness, it may be loss of someone, or just anything at all. You have to just find a way to navigate it. Don't dodge. Dodging has never helped, and it will never help anyone. So just find a way to keep being strong, and you can seek support from people as well. There are people that have gone through tougher seasons than you. You can seek support with discernment, of course. Not someone that as you're talking to him, there's a loudspeaker beside him. As you're leaving, he's parading the whole neighborhood. No, you seek support from people that you feel can help you. Then you should also let your emotions out. Some people try to suppress their emotions in tough season. Like, that's why you see someone drinking alcohol, going high, because he's trying to forget what he is going through. You have to go through it and don't pretend you are fine. Really let it out so that you can have the perfect and total healing.
Some tough times are actually a phase that will come and go, but some you have to deal with it all through. Like, imagine having a special child. Like, it's not something that you say, oh, it's a phase, it will come and pass. Like, it's something that you just need God guidance and just strength to pull out through it. But I will, Mr. Sambo Solomon, more ways to navigate through tough times, because we are not unaware that life will throw death at us. We are also not unaware of betrayals, disappointment. All these are part of life. So and they constitute pain and tough times. So how can we, Jemima has mentioning some of the ways navigate through tough times?
First of all, you just have to know and accept it that life will not just give you the good part of it alone. You must just identify that it will come in a mixed. And then the two, you must embrace it and just know how to manage the two. Because I'm happy when you said some of the tough time that we are going is what we ourselves inflicted on us because of our choices.
True.
But you see, God forgives, but the repercussion would always come. You just have to face it. And I'm happy you said there are some that is lifetime. For instance, by your choice, you choose to live a promiscuous life, and you come with the disease called HIV/AIDS. There is no cure.
Or other STIs.
There are other STIs
You understand?
that are worse.
And you know that you have to live with it. Yes. Did God forgive you? Yes. But that thing is something that you will live with it. But surely it will come to an end. The ending that we are talking about, yes, to some, physically we are seeing it. It will come and it will go. But some, is that ending that we are expecting a good life after this life. That we just have to keep reminding ourselves that there is life after this life. And you can't afford to miss the two. Because you make mistake here, and then you say, okay, let it continue, and then you missed heaven. No. What we are saying, definitely everything that is happening, there is an end to it, because one day the world that we're even living and thinking that we need something to augment, to live well, even the world will end one day. And that is the ending that we are talking about. One day, all of us will not be here. So just have it at the back of your mind. But life after death, what is your expectation? You walk it now. So just try your possible best and see that. Be patient with life. Be patient. Because even the toughness that we are talking about, it builds your capacity when it comes to you being patient with things around you. Because, like you say, people look for shortcuts. People that are not patient in life, they are the people that look for shortcuts when it comes to tough time, because they are thinking of other options. And one thing with this life, the world always is full of negativity. That's what you see. And that's why I give example of you putting detergent in a small water, shake it, the foam that will come out of it is going to be like 10 times the volume of the water, right? But just give it time and just see. Everything will just go back, and you just see that you are just remain with just that same quantity of water. So you should know that everything about life is just time, and the world will give you negativity. If you are positive, you will always be quiet and listen to what God is saying concerning your purpose and how He will lead you to your destination. It's not easy, because He said this world, in this world, troubles will come your way. But have peace, because I overcame. So that should be our constant consolation, that we know that in this world we will face troubles, we will face trials, but one day, everything will be over.
You know,
and
again,
I just quickly wanted to add, we have the scriptures as guide for us to live our lives constantly. One very story that keeps ringing in my head when you're talking about tough times is the story of Paul. And Paul says 3 times, I have this is how Paul phrases it, I have this thorn in my flesh, and 3 times I sought the Lord. 3 times I begged Him to take away this thorn. And that 3 times God gave him the same answer: my grace is sufficient for you. So sometimes when we are in tough times, your answer is my grace is sufficient for you. So
very
that
powerful.
you can push through and just continue moving, because you know and you are basking in His grace and not in your own might. Because that's another mistake that a lot of us make. We think that we can bring ourselves out of certain situations, but we cannot do anything about it because it is not in our power. See Paul, Job's story, for instance. He did not take himself there. And there was nothing he could do to bring himself out, because he had no idea why the things were happening to him. But he still kept on keeping on, because he knew that faith in God, if I died today, I know that I still have tomorrow. Because of God. And so we need to have that consciousness, living each day one at a time, one step at a time, doing what we can be able to do and leaving the ones that we cannot do. because you don't. In fact, expecting a lot from yourself, over expecting from yourself in itself is putting yourself into a tough situation. So you have to be conscious about that so that you don't find yourself pushing yourself into more trouble.
That's true.
And,
And
you
we
need
need
to, and you also need to persevere and pull through in that tough season, because God wants you to be a point of contact to others. Others should see that you made it. You should be the motivation for others to also pull through as well.
That's true. And let's also be mindful that in leaning on God through tough times, God cannot be manipulated.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times when we go through tough times, we go to God. Prayer meeting, you're there. Bible study, you're there. Church service 7, you're there. When it's supposed to be 7:30. And just when an uncle or somebody just tells you that, I'm going to give to you 200,000, and you're like, God have answered my prayer. They will look for a Bible study, prayer meeting. You're not there again. God has answered. God cannot be manipulated. That man that promised will fail you.
Of course.
It is only God that does not fail. So let's learn to lean on God. He said his grace is sufficient for us. So it means even in that tough season, what keeps us overwhelmed and what makes our heart trouble is because our focus during that tough time is on ourselves, on our abilities.
Exactly.
Or it is also because we are trusting and then focusing on another human to help us out of that situation. And that is why you find that at the end of the day, you are bitter, you are pain, you are going through life like with anger because you have expectation that this person that is close to me, that this person that I was looking up to, and this person did not even mean well for me. So you find yourself going through life disappointed. But the psalmist said, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. So regardless, if you lean on God during tough times, see, you find yourself even happy. There are people that go to church, go to places happy, and you will not believe that they did not even eat food, or they don't even know what they will eat the next minute. But you ate in the morning, you ate in the afternoon, but you're thinking of tomorrow and you're overwhelmed, you're bitter. So that's one thing about God's grace. It helps, it pulls you through these tough times. And you find yourself telling people your story and they're like, wow, you mean you went through this? I remember recently we were just having a conversation about childhood, growing up, and how the tough season that we passed through, and this is where we are today. And we can turn and appreciate our parents for even making certain sacrifices for us to be where we are today. So it is just important that we learn to lean on God. Some people, you are not seeing God, so how possible you are? Because you are seeing your boss, you are seeing your uncle, you are leaning on them. They will fail you. So in tough times, in and out of tough times, let's just learn to lean on God and to trust Him all through. And like Prudence, to take things easy, one step at a time. Sometimes I only use school fees, house rent, this. You are thinking of everything. And then your salary is just 100,000, and then the bills you have to pay is 500, and you're thinking of all. You will not sleep. People will go up and down, up and down. So what you need to do? How can I prioritize them? Scale of preference. Do this. Settle, listen to music, watch movies, like one step at a time. And then you see yourself handling. But to think that you can do, how many are you? You are one. And then you want to solve 10 problems at a time. It's almost impossible. So it's important that we take one step at a time. And what is more important for me, apart from leaning from God, is surround yourself with people that will encourage and support you. When you have the right circle, every day we emphasize that, you find yourself going through life with ease. Because if you don't have the right, you hear somebody, there are people that are so toxic, and if you keep them around you, you see yourself only opting for the negative. This life, is just so difficult. This life, it's not better for somebody to just die. Like the lady that made a post that you're going through tough times, you don't have food to eat, you are really suffering. Don't worry, you'll soon die. Like, imagine having somebody that is advising you. Yeah, and she says that, don't worry, you'll soon die. You will soon die. And that's the kind of people, sometimes these are the kind of people we have around us. They don't have anything good to say. So you have to be intentional about what you expose yourself to, the information you hear, the things you read. And we talk about even your timeline on Facebook or social media. Not everybody you should follow, and not everybody should even accept their friend request. When somebody says, check their timeline, who are they? What are the kind of content? Because some of this content can cause you to derail. So it is important that we surround ourselves with people that are able to encourage and also support us. And remember that God will always like be there for you. He said, cast your care on him because he actually cares for you. Some of these challenges or tough season are just phases. Like I always say jokingly, it's just a phase. It will pass. When people are disappointing you, it's a phase. It will pass. Your face with betrayal is a phase. It will pass. Lack of job is a phase. It will pass. Like you're looking for admission is a phase. It will pass. At some point we're crying day in and day out, like, God, when will this admission come? Some people have finished school together, they went to school, see us, but it's a phase right now. We can only talk about like it now and encourage other people. So it's good that we understand that tough season can actually be overwhelming. True, it can be really overwhelming, but we are not alone. We are not alone. It will test our strength, but we'll come out strong. Thank you all for the great conversation. And to our viewers out there, thank you for sticking with us through this conversation about life and tough times. We hope that you pick one or two things that will help you navigate through tough times. But what is more important is for you to lean on God and to trust Him. Surround yourself with people that will support and encourage you. We'll come your way tomorrow to discuss relationship. Hope you will invite your friends to join the conversation. You have a great day. Bye-bye for now.